welcome to episode 95. Yes, that's right, the actual episode of 95 of BigRedBarel Geek Speak. My name is Alex, I'm a self-appointed baroness of butts all around. I'm also the host for this episode, and I'm joined, as always, or usual, by Jauntly Giblet Juggernaut of Joe.
Hello.
Hello, Joe.
I have returned.
You have returned. We gave you a weekend-ish off. What was it? Well, we did record Friday. Okay, we gave you a Friday off.
Yeah.
For lovey-dovey stuff, which is completely acceptable. It's like our version of maternity leave, just better. Doesn't involve crying kids pooping everywhere.
Ew.
I know, that's what I'm saying, it's better.
Yeah.
Anyway, also, we have a third host who is very dangerous, but also darling at the same time. It's Diarmuid.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Yeah, you kind of let the door open, and I just kind of came in, and now I'm staying. I'm just, I'm on practically every episode for I don't know how long, the last month. You just can't get rid of me.
I see no problem with this.
Absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, me too. I see no problem with this.
Happy to have you. Exactly. Okay, guys, we're gonna start with Time Waster of the Week, and this Time Waster is courtesy of Richard Kirke. I'm sure you've heard of this game. It is going free currently on your various stores, app stores, or related. I don't know much about this game, although it looks pretty cool. It is Knights of Pen and Paper 2. It is a turn-based, retro-style pixel art adventure, which apparently has semi-appropriate cultural references, which I like. I like the sound of that. And yeah, according to Richard, he spent many hours in that game. And from what I heard from other various sources, including BRB UK, it's a great game all around, so this is a recommend for the Time Waster of the Week this week. And for that, I remind you that you guys are absolutely welcome to send us your Time Wasters if you want to contribute to the segment. We're more than happy, because that saves us rumbling our brains every 5 minutes before the episode of what to put on that segment. No, it's okay. We prepare. We actually prepare. Kinda. Almost.
Yeah.
That was almost true.
Yeah. It's totally true.
Totally true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a cough sweet there, Joe?
Yeah.
Have a lozenge.
That's a good word, isn't it? Lozenge.
Yeah.
It's an interesting word.
I'd love to hear Stephen Fry just repeat that word continuously.
Yeah, we just do an audiobook where he just says, you know, he goes through all the various types of lozenge.
Or get Dan from BRB UK to do it. Just like moist. I think Tim wouldn't be able to listen to any of it.
Yeah. I have to say, first of all, I hate how I always say I have to say. I don't have to say anything. Sorry, this is editing quirk. This is what happens when I edit my own audio, and then I notice that every segment I start with "I have to say," and I'm like, "Oh, you don't freaking have to say, Alex. You don't have to say anything. Just say it." Sorry. Anyway, my flatmate came to me today and he's like, you know what's my favorite word? My favorite word is moist. And I'm like, who are you and get out of my flat?
It's like, how is that someone's actual favourite word? It's
don't know.
Like horrible. Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. They might be a psychopath, Alex. You should watch out.
Well, he is very quiet and does like to keep him to himself.
Oh.
Is that a sign?
No, that just means he's a nerd.
Just make sure you check in every morning with us, okay? Just let us know that you're all good.
Oh, he's a lovely guy, really. I like him. He pays rent and stuff.
This is good. This is good. Yeah, if he didn't pay rent, then obviously there'd be an issue.
There would be slaps.
Let's get into the topics of the show, and it's going to start with me, and I will apologize to everyone for this, because we're going to talk about Overwatch, and we try not to talk about Overwatch a lot, because I know not everyone plays it, and the amount of times I play Overwatch, I could be really putting it as a topic of the show for every week, but I try not to. But I kind of have to, because a lot has been happening in Overwatch world, and it not only had its anniversary, which, yay, it's been over 4 years and it's still going strong, go Overwatch, but, well, a week or so ago, or maybe a couple of weeks, they had a new map, Horizon Zero Luna. I wanted to say Horizon Zero Dawn, what?
Horizon Lunar Colony.
Yes, thank you.
Although I like the idea of Horizon Zero Luna. That sounds quite cool.
They should really come up with some other names. Be more creative, people. Everything is Horizon. Anyway, it's a map about where Winston comes from the moon. It's the map on the moon. There is a really cool section of where there is no gravity and everything is floating in the air. As far as I can see, not many people actually go to that section of the map. It's completely optional. But look, a lot of things has been happening in Overwatch, and they are constantly doing updates. They're balancing and nerfing and buffing various heroes. For example, the Reapers finally got a lot more action lately because he got a bit of a buff and he's actually now a viable, useful hero in the game, which means I'm constantly screaming, I hate this Reaper when I'm playing the game.
Yes, I hate Reaper.
Yeah, well, he's more hateable now.
I hated him to begin with. He's like one of my least favourite characters, and now I hate him even more. Ugh, Reaper. Ugh.
Yeah, but that is because you're a Mercy main, and he is the bane of your life.
Yeah, he is, and also he's just so emo. It's like, oh god. He's just depressing.
Yeah, no, I can totally get behind that. I have started playing him a little bit, and the new Reaper is quite satisfactory to play, I have to say. I'm sorry, Joe.
It's fine, just don't kill me.
It's okay, we're usually on the same team, so it's fine.
Yeah, so it's usually not a problem.
Roadhog got nerfed, so he's now is pretty much useless, and every time someone picks Roadhog, everyone on the team goes, oh, no.
It's quite good, though, because now he can't kill me in one shot. So
I
was quite pleased with that nerf. But yeah. He's pretty much pointless now. Why would you... There's absolutely, no situation where you'd pick a Roadhog now. You just wouldn't.
I mean, to be honest, it all depends on the gameplay, and that's one of the things I really love about Overwatch all the time, is because the gameplay is ever changing. It doesn't only depend on what Blizzard themselves do with updating the game, but also people learning new strategies and new ways to use heroes and new tricks on the maps. So, for example, right now, what is the name of it? The
And Alex is powered down.
I'm sorry, my brain farted. The team composition.
Oh, you're talking about
Winston.
dive comp?
Yeah.
You're talking about my dive. Yeah, I'm sick to death of dive comp because it doesn't work for me because I'm a Mercy main, and Mercy is okay with dive comp, but she's not really. That's not really what she's for.
Yeah, but it has become much more prevalent than it used to be, and
This is true.
Reinhardt used to be a must-pick hero before, and now not so much.
Yeah, now nobody plays Reinhardt, and I love Reinhardt because there's a big shield for me to hide behind. Bring back Reinhardt, I say.
Yeah, so all that stuff, and I got really frustrated at the beginning of this competitive season because we've been playing and it seemed we've been getting nowhere. And I was really proud of all of us at the end of last season because we were getting better as a team, we were doing really well, we were learning new tricks, and I do have to say this about Overwatch. Guys, if you're playing competitive, always learn new stuff. Always go on Reddit and YouTube and look for some things to get better, because if you're playing the same, it's not about that. You have to try to get better at it and learn new tricks, because that's what the game is about. Because trust me, when you've gotten really good at the character and used the character in a really cool way and had a really tight fight where you just performed really well because you've been practicing, it feels like nothing else. That is the feeling why we still come back to Overwatch, because when you try to do good and you've pushed yourself to be good, and then you did really well, that feels like just nothing else. That is so satisfactory.
It does. I mean, you remember last season that I ended up getting absolutely decimated in my rankings and dropped really, really low. Well, I've essentially climbed 1,000 points.
Which was
then.
Amazing, Joe. It's actually amazing.
And it feels really good because I've only done that basically by working really hard, practicing, learning new things, getting better at the character, and, just becoming better at the game. I haven't played for a little while. I kind of felt like I needed a little bit of a break because, like you said, the beginning of this season was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But, I think... I'm probably ready to play a little bit more again now.
I'm slowly trying to find my Overwatch legs now, and I'm a bit more happier with myself and how the game plays at the moment. But it has been a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, this season's been tough.
And I'm gonna say one of the things why it has been frustrated is because of the players. And I mean, it's upsetting to me to bring this topic on many levels, because I always want more people to come to Overwatch so we have always people to play with and so more people can enjoy this, not even objectively, but just a really great game. But I also can't avoid talking about people, leaving the game too early, people just not playing properly, people not being part of the team. And it is a team game. It's really important that you are on mics communicating. It's really important that you're looking at overall team composition and trying to complement it rather than just playing Hanzo when you already have Widowmaker. Like, we don't need the two of them.
We don't need either of them.
You know what? If there is a really good one of them, I'm quite happy. I try not to kind of look at the team composition and straight away go, oh no, not another Hanzo player. Like, trying to stay positive and encourage people, if you like to play Hanzo, go ahead and play Hanzo. But it is more than that. And the thing is, I don't think people understand that acting this way is more damaging to their rank, into their SR, into their MMR overall in the game. And now this is a little bit complicated, and I think I have to explain what it is a bit. So SR is the number that is your competitive ranking, and that gives you your boundary, whether you're a silver player, a golden player, platinum player, or diamond player, and so on. So that is a number that shows you. However, there is also a hidden Blizzard ranking, which is MMR, which takes everything into account. How well you played at the character, how many kills you've done, how many reses you've done, what's your kill to death ratio, and that thing is hidden, and you'll never find it out. And the thing is, that thing doesn't only take account into how you play in the competitive game, but also how you play into quick play, and kind of balances out. And I think this is why maybe Jo got like really a bad hand last season, because her MMR ranking was really, really low, and that's why she got dropped all the way down in competitive, where she didn't belong in that rank in competitive, but because of the MMR stuff, it got dropped. And people don't realize that when they quit the game too early, or they rage quit, or they do something else, their MMR ranking that determines where they get placed in the next competitive season drops them way down, and they're basically harming themselves. There is a really great video which I will find and I will post in the show notes, done by Stylosa, when he explains this whole MMR SR complicated ranking that sounds like a bunch of gibberish even to me after playing this game for over a year. But he explains it all very well, and he explains why you shouldn't leave games, you shouldn't play weird characters and throw games.
The thing is, like, it's not just about the effect on your own ranking and yourself, but it's just such a dick thing to do, to go into a game and then throw a game or leave a game and just generally be a griefer. It's just really not a very nice thing to do. So kind of like, people are inherently selfish a lot of the time, and so they do think of it just like, well, it doesn't affect my rank, so I don't care, kind of thing. But that just sucks, because it's a team game. We all play it to have fun and a good time, and if you've got a guy on your team who just doesn't want to play, or is just picking Junkrat and then just jumping off the map or something, which I've seen happen, oh, why? Just, it's just not a nice way to be. Just be a good person.
It's pretty common. Like, it's not just Overwatch. Like, you can pick any game that's more team focused, you're going to get that kind of thing. And while I think it is players' responsibility to sort of sort themselves out in that sense of playing correctly, trying to learn from your mistakes, trying to get better and help the team and all that kind of stuff, I also do think that Blizzard need to do more to not only, like, I don't just want I don't mean bad players, I mean kind of players who aren't doing what they should be doing. Like, if they're deliberately throwing or leaving the game, I don't want them just punished. That's kind of one way of doing it, but it kind of turns people away from the game. What I'd like is a kind of a carrot and stick situation, where you have the stick, which is the punishing people, which is dropping their MMR to a certain level, or kind of putting them into games with other levers and things like that. You have that option as well. But there's also the carrot option, which is incentivizing people more to play as a team. And potentially, if you're in a 6-man game and you're a solo player, for instance, and there's a team of 5, and you play with that team and you kind of hang with them and you do your best to win the game, potentially Blizzard could look at giving you even more SR because you've done well, or giving you some sort of incentive to do better. That way you hammering the problem from both ends. You're giving people the option to play well, and you're kind of rewarding them for it. And then if people don't do that, or choose not to do that, then there's a bit more of a punishment for them if they do go away. So it's kind of up to, obviously, the players to improve themselves, but I also think Blizzard need to potentially look at some solutions to help drive player behavior in a certain way as well.
There are definitely things that Blizzard need to do more of. Like, I think they could do with working on the matching system, like matchmaking. That needs attention for sure. And I mean, it's an incredibly complex system, so I have every sympathy for them that it's not perfect, because, God, you can imagine how complex that thing is. But also, obviously, PC are ahead of us in terms of what they can do in terms of reporting bad players. We need that on console now.
I think it's coming.
Yeah, I think I read it's coming, but we definitely, it's been a year. We could have done with it before now, because as a Mercy player and as a girl, if I'm not with you guys, I'm always wary about going into team chat, because you can almost guarantee that there'll be one knobhead on the team who you won't heal him for a second because you're busy healing a tank, and he'll always almost be a Genji, and he'll be like, "Why are you healing me? Oh, you're rubbish. Oh, you're crap. Oh, girls can't play games." And you're just like, "Oh, this isn't why I play games, to get grief off children."
I'm sure what's worse is being confused for someone's brother.
Yes, I was just about to say.
You need to tell this story because I wasn't there. What happened?
So me and Cloud were playing together, and we had two other dudes in the comm, and playing, and we got through the game, and they're like, "Oh, really cool, like, they were really nice guys." I'm like, "Oh, thanks for playing, good game." And then they asked, "Are you two guys brothers or something?" And I was like, yeah, sure, I grew up there.
You don't even sound like a dude, though. It's so funny. I'd have given anything to be in that party. I'd have absolutely wet myself laughing. That would have been hilarious. I'm so sorry.
It was so funny. It was to the point where it was funny a couple of minutes later, because I was so dumbstruck by the question at the beginning. I was like, wait, what? So I couldn't even react. It was me for about a minute going, what?
As funny as it is, obviously, it is obviously hilarious, but it's also indicative of a problem that still exists in games, in that female gamers aren't as sort of assumed to be there.
The more annoying thing to me as well is that for some reason there's, and I'm not sure that this is true, but it's just assumed the girls tend to play Mercy a lot.
Well, yeah. And because I am a Mercy main, I feel like I get even more grief. Because they're like, "Oh yeah, girl, play Mercy, but she can't play." Like, shut up, you! I play Mercy because I like to play her. I like to help people out. I like to heal. I'm not a offensive player. That's not how I like to play games. I'm always a support. And she's just really fun to play. And it's just off when people just can't.
Joe is all about that love, peace, and unity.
Exactly. I just don't understand why you can't all just be nice to each other. If you're going to be mean to me, then I'm certainly not going to come and heal you.
I absolutely agree with you, Ty. They should rethink how and what they do to the players to punish them for leaving or incentivize them in some other way. Because I'll tell you a story, and this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. We were playing a game, and we were absolutely smashing them.
Yeah.
The opponent's team, and for some reason one of the guys left our team, and we were still smashing them 5v6, and it was crazy. We were doing so well, we were holding the point, and then suddenly one of their guys left, and we're like, finally it's balanced, we're 5v5, that is so great, and we're still doing really, really well. We were just a stronger team, working better together, and then suddenly, once again, one of our guys leaves again, and we're 4v5. Like, I couldn't even understand, because we were doing really well. I'm like, why do you leave? And I even tweeted about them, and all their kind of PSN IDs is in that tweet, because the other 3 players were so good. They didn't give up until the end. It was clear that we were gonna lose now, that there was no way, but none of them threw the game. They all picked very relevant characters. They, despite losing, tried their best. That, if nothing, just made me feel really, really happy and like really glad to be in their team, because they just went for it. They're like, we lost 2 dudes, we're gonna lose, we're still gonna do our best.
Exactly, that's the thing. See, it's just bad sportsmanship, really, isn't it, leaving? It's just like throwing your toys out of the pram because it's not going your way. Oh, I don't like this, blah. And then you leave. And it's just such childish behaviour. And, I mean, yeah, sometimes there's internet problems, and I can fully understand that. But then there's another, I read, I think it was actually Stylosa, who, on his Twitter, I think I saw this, that someone was complaining to him that he'd lost a ton of SR, and he was going, "Oh, thanks, Blizzard. Look at all this SR I've lost because of my crappy internet." And Stylosa, absolutely bang on the money, replies and said, "Well, you know what? If you've got crappy internet, don't play competitive. You know, if you want to play the game, quick play, that's cool. If you want to play competitive, make sure you've got reliable internet. And I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not fair on the other people because everyone gets penalised. You know, if you lose because you've lost a person, then everyone loses points. And if you're leaving just because you want to, then you're just not a very nice person, to be honest.
But, unfortunately, you can't do very much about people leaving, and it's just the mindset of a certain person getting upset with the game, thinking, everyone else is playing so bad compared to them and they're god at Overwatch, or whatever mindset, and just giving up on the game and leaving. And that will happen in all the multiplayer games.
Luckily, the majority of players are lovely and will try hard, and most of the time you have a good experience. But I definitely think Blizzard do need to pay some attention to this now, because it is becoming a more regular problem.
And I could understand, before they were thinking, oh, we don't really want to go really hard on these people because we don't want to lose players. But now they're risking losing the actual good, loyal player base that plays because they love the game and get annoyed with issues like that. Because I'm very honest. At about the beginning of the season, I was about to throw my controller away and walk away from this game completely. I was that annoyed by some of the games I had, and they had nothing to do with me playing badly. They just had to do with just overall attitude of other people playing with me. And I really don't want to put kind of the ball in their court and say, oh, it's you, it's not me. But when 3 out of 5 games you play, someone leaves early because they think you're not gonna win, that's telling.
Yeah, definitely. But Overwatch is still great.
It is great.
The game itself is still awesome.
It's great, and, well, the original point of the segment, that there's still a lot of new stuff coming up, that I know they definitely have some new heroes in the bank that they'll be releasing soon, new events, new exciting stuff in Overwatch, many new maps I'm sure to come as well. And if you stop playing Overwatch, jump in. I would just say update yourself with some of the new tactics, and it could be just as easy as going to some YouTuber, and God knows there are a lot of YouTubers that cover exclusively Overwatch, and checking a couple of their latest videos and seeing what actually happened with the game, so now you can be on par with everyone else who plays. And it's not that hard. It's not going to take you a long time. It's not a massive homework. It's just I think it's just being polite, because the game has progressed, the tactics have progressed, and that kind of stuff. This is me. We're done for Overwatch, hopefully for a foreseeable future. We're not going to return to this, so if you had to snooze fast for this segment, again, I apologize. Had to be said. Die! Tell me what you were going to tell me.
Yes.
Segue.
Awesome segue. It's one of your best.
I know, I'm so proud.
So last night I attended a launch event for a game that I've been looking forward to since last year, since it was announced. So during E3 last year, Sony announced a remake of Crash Bandicoot called the Insane Trilogy, and it launched today. And it includes the first, second, and third games. So Crash Bandicoot, Cortex Strikes Back, and Warped. So those are the main platforming games that they have in that series. And the original Crash is 21 years old.
Gosh.
That makes me feel incredibly old.
Yeah.
But
wow. My God.
But you have to imagine that Activision and Sony kind of went, I don't know how money changed hands, what exactly kind of led to all this. Again, there's lots of rumors about whether this is coming to other platforms. I'm fairly sure it will at some stage, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. It's not an exclusive IP anymore. Activision just they like money, so
exactly. So like Crash has been appearing in Skylanders for ages and so on. So like it's one of those things that it's not going to be really weird when you see that on PC or Xbox or anything like that. However, like this original game, it was 21 years old, so you kind of knew if they were going to spruce it up, it wasn't going to just be one of those HD licks of paint that they could do. Like they would really have to go back in and kind of almost recreate it from scratch. And Vicarious Visions, they're the guys who did this. They've been kind of an Activision development house for quite some time. They've done a lot of Skylander ports, a lot of ports of their other titles like Tony Hawk and Guitar Hero. So they're a pretty talented studio and they have a fairly long history. But this was obviously going to be a big project for them. And since the first trailer, since we first saw what it was going to look like, I was kind of impressed that they were able to, number one, update it to make it look like a modern game. Like this, honestly, if you were to see it running on a screen in front of you and you didn't know who the character was, it wouldn't really be a shock to kind of think, this is a modern game. It's just came out this week. It's brand new. There you go, whatever. But they've managed to do that and at the same time keep the gameplay from the first games fairly intact, with some control issues kind of overcome as well at the same time. And it's really impressive. Again, it's only come out today, so I haven't exactly cleared the whole bloody thing, but I'm kind of working through it slowly, and I've gone through a good section, I think, now of the first game. I have, and what's good about this game as well, similar to other remakes that kind of compile a bunch of games together, you can kind of jump straight into. So if you only join the series, let's say at Cortex Strikes Back or Warped, and you just want to play that first, let's say, you can. You can choose that from the main screen. You can jump straight into the second or third game. It isn't kind of a barriered thing at all. But obviously, being a fan of all three, I started at the first, and I'm going to work through that first before going on to the second, then on to the third, and so on. And they've just done a really good job. Not only does it look visually, it looks incredible. On Pro, it supports 4K, it has remastered audio, all that kind of good stuff. They've also added a few things. So one of the characters that was first introduced in the third game, which was Coco Bandicoot, Crash's sister, you can actually play through a lot of the levels from the first and second game as Coco now. And it's not just a kind of a reskinning of the character either. They do a lot of really cool things with her. So one of the first things you do in the first game is you unlock her as a kind of a side, and then when you're in the level screen where you choose which level you want to do, you can hit R2 to change between them. The only levels it doesn't allow you to do that on are the boss levels and the levels where there's a particular gimmick. There's the Hog Wild level, which is fairly early on, where you have to ride on a pig through the level, and it's kind of an on-rails kind of part of the game, and there's special levels like that you have to play through as Crash. But the rest you can do with Coco. But what I liked is her animations they have the same effect, but they're different. She runs through the entire level with holding a laptop, for instance. And one of the funny things is, if you fall down a hole as Crash, his shoes pop up. One of the things in the original games were the death animations were really, really funny. And one of the things is, when you jump down, or if you fall down a hole, he kind of hits the ground at the bottom. You don't see it, but then you just see his shoes kind of fly up into the air and back down again. When Coco does that, her shoes also come up and down, but so does her laptop. It's little attention to detail, things like that make me think that Vicarious Visions really did want to do this game justice, and I think they have done so far. As I mentioned, I haven't played through all of it, so I can't kind of give a review or anything like that, but I will say that so far I'm really enjoying it. Have you guys played these games in the past, or are you thinking about picking up this game now?
I actually have never played it. I should have, of course. But no, I never played Crash Bandicoot. So yeah, I might pick it up at some point, yeah.
That's the thing. It kind of came out at a time, obviously 3D platformers were not a thing when Crash came out. Crash launched in 96, and it was only 2 months before, I think, Super Mario 64 came out. And obviously everyone looks back at Super Mario 64 as the king platformer, and it is. But I still had a lot of fun with Crash Bandicoot, and I remember playing through that a lot and unlocking all of the various extra levels and the getting the jewels and kind of 100%ing particular levels and things like that. I always enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun. There was a few control issues, but they've seemingly fixed those in the new game. So I really enjoyed it. And it's just one of those games that I think if you want to kind of get that nostalgia feeling, you can, and you'll enjoy it. I think some of the gameplay hasn't aged particularly well. They've tried to update it, but it's still, they wanted to keep it fairly close to what it was as well. So the levels where you're running towards the screen are still a bit kind of, you have to be very, very quick to jump when you need to jump, or move to the side when you need to move to the side. But it still works pretty well. But it's one of those things where if you compare it to a game, like a mascot platformer game that's probably been built and created now, there may be some things that it doesn't quite compare as well as. But at the same time, I've really enjoyed the game so far, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it, really.
Nice. I have to say... No, I don't have to say... I'm on the same page as Joe. I've not really played it, and as a platformer, I doubt I will.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest platformer person, to be honest.
I mean, it's one of those things, I've grown up on platformers, so the very first game I remember completing was Super Mario World, and it still ranks up there as my favorite game of all time. It is the game that I could go back to, and I could tell you where all of the secrets are, because I've gotten absolutely everything in that game. It was just one of the best games I've ever played, and it still is. And thankfully it's coming out in the new Super Nintendo Classic thing whenever that arrives.
Oh, God.
Exactly. But like, my growing up into video games has always been through platformers. So obviously there was Crash. I really enjoyed Spyro the Dragon when they made that.
See, I played that.
Yeah,
I did
played
play that because it had the dragon.
Yeah.
Jak and Daxter, another platformer. Like, that kind of started my love of Naughty Dog, Crash and Jak. And then, of course, they went on to make everybody's, everybody knows Uncharted and The Last of Us at this stage. But it just gives you an idea, like, that's the company that made it. It's that kind of pedigree of people who enjoy making fun experiences, and they've kind of moved on now, but you can still go back and play those games, and they're really, really good.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, so far. I'll let you know if it goes off a cliff later on.
Okay, so our next topic is something that Joe's talking about. It has a funky name and has no idea what it is. Take it away, Joe. Another excellent segment from Alex. You're welcome.
So in a complete change to my usual things I talk about, I'm going to talk about a film again.
What?
Yay.
I know, shocking.
Crazy town.
And this is a Netflix film. It's a Netflix original film called Okja.
Wait. Is that with the really funky hippopotamus?
Yes, it's a super pig. So,
funky hippopotamus.
That's the only thing I know because I watched the trailer. There's a really weird hippopotamus in there. I mean, it's cute, but it's weird.
Oh, she's adorable. Right, okay, so Okja is a super pig. Obviously, it's an invented animal, for sure. This film is directed by Bong Joon-ho, who people might know from, he did a film called The Host and also Snowpiercer, that I believe we still cannot get in the UK. I've kept my eye out, but it's one of those that kind of never got distribution in the UK and has kind of disappeared. But anyway, Snowpiercer aside. And this is fantastic. This is a lovely film. It's quite dark in places. So what it's about is Okja is a super pig.
Do you know what? I love everything about you saying super pig.
Super pig.
There's just something so great about an idea of a super pig. Whatever it is,
she's adorable.
Whatever the pig does, just saying super pig.
Yeah, super pig. The way the film kind of starts is there's this corporation, okay, called the Mirando Corporation, and they're like a big evil corporation kind of thing.
Yes.
And they've been breeding this special kind of super pig, and 26 of these pigs have been bred, and they're sending them to different locations around the world, and 10 years later one will be crowned the winner as the best super pig.
What are the criteria for being the best super pig?
Exactly, this is the thing. They have to, the reason that this pig has been bred is so people can eat it.
What?
Yeah, exactly. This is where it strays into sort of dark territory.
This is getting very dark, and I'm not sure if I want to do this.
This film is the kind of film that will turn you vegetarian.
But I like the chorizo. I really like the chorizo.
Basically, yeah, these pigs have been specially bred because they're, it's all about the food crisis and people just want cheap meat. And so this is a way that a super pig will eat less food and produce less excretions and also taste really good. She says it in a slightly different way, but I can't repeat that because it's full of swearing. And yeah, this is Tilda Swinton is the CEO of this corporation. She's amazing. I mean, Tilda, I'll watch her in anything, but she's brilliant in this. And so then we cut to 10 years later, and this baby piglet super pig has become a big super pig called Okja, who lives in the mountains in South Korea in the countryside with this girl Mija and her grandfather. And of course, they're she's like family, right? Okja is part of the family. She saves Mija's life at one point early on, and they just love her. But of course, 10 years has passed, so the company come along and they crown Okja the winner, that she's the best super pig, and from there they want to take her to America and basically do bad things with her.
You mean basically eat her?
Yeah, and also to breed from her and stuff, and it's, it gets pretty dark pretty quickly in places. But it's also quite light. It's like, that's one thing with Okja, is that the tone shifts quite a lot in it, and I was kind of okay with that because I kind of wanted it to have that dark edge as well. But I think some people might find that a bit jarring, in that in one shot you'll have like this really happy, cute scene with this super pig, like, doing cute super pig things, and then in the next scene you'll be in like a super pig slaughterhouse, and it's like,
well, that's taken a 360.
So yeah, some people might find that quite jarring, but I found it really quite emotional and moving. And as obviously I don't eat meat anyway, I'm already on board with the ideas that the film is trying to say. And basically the film is talking about like how mass meat production is incredibly harming to the environment, to the animals, and this industrialization of animals' lives is a bad thing, right? But it's done in a very Bong Joon-ho way, so there is that element of humour and lightness and surrealism to it. And the cast are amazing, so you have Tilda Swinton, as I mentioned. Jake Gyllenhaal is in it as well. He kind of is playing almost like a crocodile hunter type character. What was the name of that guy? Steve
Irwin?
Yes, Steve. He's kind of like a Steve Irwin character. A little bit kind of, obviously as 10 years have passed, he's become a little bit washed up. And he's quite an interesting character. There's some Animal Liberation Front activists who are in it, and they're led by Paul Dano, who again is an awesome actor from There Will Be Blood. Most people will remember him from that. And also he was in that awesome film where he writes a girl. Oh, what was that called? That's going to annoy me.
I mean, he was in The Smith's Army Knife with Daniel Radcliffe. That's
right.
I know him from.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's in that.
Ruby Sparks,
That's it,
I think
Ruby
is the
Sparks.
one you're talking
about. I love that film. It's great. But yeah, so he's in it. He's really good. Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead is in it.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully alive.
Yeah, basically. And also Gus Fring from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad is in it.
All right.
So it's got a hell of a cast. It's really good. And the film, for me, I found a really emotional and interesting, uplifting experience, despite there's some really dark moments. Like I won't go into too much detail because of spoilers and stuff, but people that eat meat and stuff, and I don't judge at all. Like, I've been a vegan/vegetarian for quite a while, and to me the thought of eating meat is absolutely repulsive. Like, it's abhorrent to me, the thought of it. So I'm kind of on the side of this film to begin with, but I'm really kind of interested to see what meat eaters will think of this film.
Damn it, let's watch this. We need to report back to Joe as primal meat eaters.
Because, you know, like I say, I don't judge. I'm very much, I never try and force my beliefs on things like that onto people, because everyone's entitled to make their own decision. I think it's wrong to eat meat. I'm always going to think that, but it's, you know, people need to make their own decisions about things like that. But a film like this, I think, has the potential to lead to people investigating not eating meat, because of, like, it's not all just super cute, like, oh, the pig's really cute so we can't eat meat anymore. It's not that blunt, if that makes sense. It's a lot more intelligent of the questions it's asking, like, about the industrialization of animals and how twisted and wrong that actually is when you think about it. Yeah, and so it's a really interesting film. It has some beautiful, lovely moments with character and stuff like that. The character of Okja is obviously a big CGI super pig, and she's great. She's really well done. She has so much personality, and I loved it. I just thought it was a really fantastic film. Of course, it made me cry buckets, you know, because of the, you know, I cry in everything anyway, but this film obviously affected me quite deeply because of my own beliefs. Yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough, actually. It's not perfect, like I say, the tone does shift quite radically at times, but it's got such an important message, and it's such a well-told story that I think, yeah, and it's on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, you've got no excuse not to watch it. Everyone should.
I'm glad you talked about this movie, because it has caught my eye more than once. Every time we kind of decide what to watch before going to bed, we flip through it, and this lovely pig/hippopotamus or whatever she is appears on the screen, and I'm intrigued every single time. It's nice to know what it's actually about, and it's lovely to know who is in that movie, because it's always good to know the talent that is present, and the names you've mentioned just encouraging me more and more to see it. Speaking of lovely Tilda Swinton, has anyone ever seen Only Lovers Left Alive?
Yes, yeah, with Hiddleston in it. Yeah, that's a good film.
I mean, I came in for the Hiddleston. I stayed in for Tilda.
She's awesome, honestly. I love Tilda. I mean, I've liked her since, I think, when she was in, what was it that she played the Angel Gabriel in? Was it Constantine?
Constantine,
yeah. She was awesome, and I've kind of pretty much loved her since then. She was brilliant in the one, oh my god, my brain has just stopped working. Something about Kevin.
We need to talk about Kevin. Yes, that's it.
We need to talk about Kevin. She's amazing in that. She made Doctor Strange okay. I didn't like Doctor Strange.
See, I think a lot of people had problem with her in Doctor Strange, but I think it's a topic for another conversation.
Yeah, we could go on for some time. Yeah, I think she was controversial to say the least.
Yeah.
But I didn't like Doctor Strange, but I liked her.
Oh, thank you. I didn't like Doctor Strange was okay.
No, I didn't like it.
I keep seeing a lot of people like it, and I feel like I'm the only one on the sidelines.
No, it left me cold, to be honest. And I love Benedict Cumberbatch. He's amazing, and I love Tilda Swinton, but for some...
No, I don't really care about the Cumbersnatch, but it's fine.
But yeah, for some reason that film just left me cold. But anyway, yeah, so I'll watch her in pretty much anything, and yeah, she's great in this.
Okay, so we're moving on to the next topic, and my topic is more of reminders for any Londoners or anyone visiting London during about endish of June, but it's West End Live, which I attended last weekend, and we're recording on the 30th of June. And West End Live is a free event in Trafalgar Square. It's where all West End shows, so mainly musicals, but a lot of other awesome stuff and performances come, and they kind of do previews for what their shows is about. So if they're a musical, they do a couple of songs from that musical, or they do a couple of acts from their show, and you know what? It is absolutely fantastic. And I will confess, I'm a big musical lover. I love musicals. I would go and watch them all the time, with all their cheesiness and all their, exaggerated acting. I take it all. I just love musicals. So I absolutely loved West End Live, and because that just gives you such a good bite-size portion of the whole performance, and it gives you an idea of what you actually want to see if you go to their shows. And obviously I've seen the Phantom of the Opera, so I'm okay with that. I'm a big Mamma Mia fan. I know it's just ABBA songs, but ABBA songs are always great, so... I had
a sort of an unavoidable gag motion then when you mentioned Mamma Mia.
Do you not like ABBA?
No.
Is that from the movie?
Yeah.
Well, same
thing. ABBA are fine.
Yeah.
But Mamma Mia, the movie, makes me want to die inside.
Movie, yes. Movie was a bit cringeworthy, let's be honest. Even despite all the stars present in that movie.
Yeah, you've got Meryl Streep in that movie. I mean,
Yes, but the musical overall, in general, is quite great. And I've heard it in Russian, so... Okay. Other than that, I just really want to mention Stomp. If you guys know who Stomp are, they I guess a rhythmic band of people that they play the crazy instruments. They create.
God, they've been going for years, haven't they? I remember my mum going to see Stomp when I was like a kid.
It's one of the shows that you have to see live, because no matter how many times you say it, they basically stomp about. They use their feet to create music. They used like trash cans and all that kind of stuff to create music and rhythm. That never gets the whole picture. You have to see them live. You have to feel the rhythm. You have to see them perform all the tricks and be absolutely in sync and follow the rhythm through and through to get to understand what they're about. It's an absolutely must-see live performance, because you're never gonna get it. You may watch it online and be like, okay, I kind of get what it's about, but not until you see them live does it get you. And also, another thing I have to mention is that on a Sunday, they did a little performance of Lion King, and I love that cartoon so much. I almost teared up when they were singing the opening song. I was like, my childhood, it's so beautiful. Yeah, but they do that every year. The event is free. It's in Trafalgar Square. Come listen to music from the musicals. I don't know how else to specify, guys. It's free. It's music from the musicals. The musicals that are all around London. It gives you a taster. It might want to encourage you to see some shows and pay attention to some other shows you didn't even know were there. It's excellent. You should go. Did I mention it's free? It's free!
So how much is a ticket?
It's free, damn it! Yeah, so that's what I've done last week, and that was great. And now to, I assume, another great thing with the number 2 on it. Damn it!
It's me.
Yeah!
Okay, so you'll be very happy, Alex, to know that I finished Mass Effect Andromeda recently.
I am so happy!
Finally got through it. Again.
Would you bang?
At PB.
Oh, good.
Of course,
good choice,
PB.
Good choice. I banged her too, but not completely. I didn't commit. We just did some...
Did you fall over or something?
Kind of. We had a little sexual encounter in 0G conditions.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I went for the serious relationship.
Ah, damn it.
Anyway, So I finished Mass Effect.
That meant you saw her boobies.
Yes, I did. And they were nice.
Yes.
And they were nice.
And blue.
So anyway, I'm going to get past this.
No, just let's talk about boobies again.
The blue boobies. My thing is, yes, it's flawed. It's not nearly as bad as you've probably heard.
Yes.
Just like Alex said. And if you want to go play it and you weren't really sure, I suggest you go play it because I think it's good. And I'll leave it at that. And the rumors that they're cancelling the story DLC is very disappointing if that's the case. That's what I've heard today.
I don't know. They've been teasing because they still keep giving their multiplayer. So every Friday, I think, they do a stream for their new multiplayer event. And a couple of weeks back, they teased the Quarian DLC, or what people are assuming are Quarian DLC. So I'm not 100% sure they've cancelled all their ideas. There still might be stuff coming. Again,
I'm just basing this off the rumors that came out today from Kotaku saying that they've cancelled the story DLC, but they're keeping the Apex mission stuff, so the multiplayer stuff.
Oh, that'd be so sad. Okay.
Exactly. That would be really disappointing. But it's a really good game. You should go and play it. So, for me, I always tend to have my multiplayer games on the go. So you've your Overwatch, your PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, so on. And then I usually have one or two single-player games that I kind of get through when nobody else is online and I kind of just play when I want to play. So I finished Mass Effect Andromeda and I wanted to move on to my next one. And I remember during E3, during the Bethesda conference, they had some Dishonored 2 DLC announcements. A single-player DLC, Death of the Outsider. So again, I kind of said, okay, maybe I should go back and see that. And then a few weeks back, it went on sale for something like £17.
Dishonored 2, not the DLC.
Dishonored 2, yes. The DLC is coming out later in the year, I think. But it was just, it went on sale and I was like, well, bleh. I was going to get it, so I may as well get it now. So I bought the game, I had it downloaded, I finished off Mass Effect, and then immediately jumped into this. But the thing is, I only finished it this week, so I'm only a few hours in. But just to make Kev happy, I said I would play that, because he's a huge fan of these games. So in case you don't know, obviously with the whole number 2 beside it, Dishonored 2 is the sequel to the original Dishonored, both of which were made by Arcane Studios. So that's kind of the same group, not the same studio exactly, but the same group who did like the recent Prey, for instance. And it's a game it's kind of a stealth action game. It's all in first person. You kind of move around. In the first game, you play as a guy named Corvo, who is he goes around like usually with a knife and a gun, and the gameplay is all based around stealth. Usually, you can go in guns blazing, but you're probably going to end up dying. But he has a number of different powers. And the second game, it gives you a choice. So in the second game, you play as either Corvo or the current Empress, Emily, who is actually his daughter.
Spoilers! No, it's not.
They give that away in like the first cutscene, so it's fine. So the game kicks on from there, and I won't spoil it, just to let everyone know. But I like how they give you the choice at the very start. So at the very start, a kind of a confrontation happens that forces you to choose between either Emily or Corvo. And then the game kicks on from there, and you're that character, and whatever happens to the other character kind of happens to them. And you kind of continue the story as that one character. I'm assuming once the game's finished, you can go back and choose the other character and see how that story goes, if it differs at all. But what I like about it is the gameplay is really fun. I like the AI of the enemies. They're not thick. Unlike other stealth games, they don't feel like they'll let you go when they see something. They don't just go, oh, must be nothing, and then turn around. They really do go for you.
What was that noise?
Exactly.
Yeah, just cue in all the Assassin's Creed soldiers going, oh, what was that sound? Let me walk in that direction, then walk away.
Or the Metal Gear Solid games. Yeah. All of them are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
This one is slightly better. It's still not perfect, but it's much, much better in that case. But what they do is, as well as kind of balancing that in the favor of the enemies, they also give you stuff to do. So you get powers in the game. So there's a lot of kind of stuff in the game that it kind of in I don't know how to describe this. The sense that you get if you've played the Batman Arkham games, where you feel powerful. They give you that in this game. They give you these powers and they make you feel like you have this toy box that you can use to get around, to get to your objective, and it's just fun using them. So they have different powers. For instance, for Emily, she has one particular power called Far Reach, which allows her to pull enemies or objects, and that can be used to kind of solve puzzles or kind of combat situations. There's also, she has Mesmerize, which allows her to distract enemies. There's other ones where there's this ability called Domino. This is kind of cool. So what you can do is you can link a few enemies together, and then whatever happens to one enemy happens to all of them. So you could link a few players together, and then maybe stealth, kill, or choke one of those enemies, and then all of them kind of drop. So it's little things like that. They give you all of these different powers that you can use in multiple different ways. There's another one called, I think it's called Shadow Walk, where you can basically create a doppelganger, or a kind of another... Shadow Walk is where you can move. Doppelganger is the one where you can create a clone of yourself. But then you can use that in conjunction with Domino. So you can kill, or kind of link more people together, and then as you've two versions of yourself, you can kind of kill two people. The amount of stuff they give you, the powers they give you, and the ability to kind of chain it all together and make it really fun is really impressive. I'm only a few hours into it, so I'm not that very far into the story yet. But the level design, the visuals, I love it's not realistic looking game like the architecture is, but the character design is a little over exaggerated and it kind of suits the world. It's quite violent when it wants to be. I'm trying to go through it fairly stealthily and not killing people where I can. Sometimes that gets away from me. I'll say that much right now. But it's just really fun so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the story develops, because it starts you off and it really does just throw you into it, and it just sort of lets you kind of get on with things, and you just kind of work your way around and try and piece together what exactly has happened and how you're going to get your life back, basically. And again, I'm not going to say any more about the story or anything else. I'm just going to say, so far, it's really worth playing, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to that as well.
Yeah, I have it. I haven't played it yet. I got it ages ago. Like, I started playing the first one, never finished it, but thought it was great, but I think something else came out and I just never kind of went back to it. But yeah, Dishonored 2 looks awesome. I do want to play it. It's in the pile of games that I am slowly working through. Although at the moment I seem to just want to play Bloodborne all the time rather than actually playing something that I haven't played yet. So it's like, it's like, why am I spending so much time playing Bloodborne and Overwatch rather than anything else?
Also, a shout out. I knew before when I was playing the game, like, I didn't read up on the game too much. But I knew before I played it that voice acting was apparently very good, and it is. However, when I was playing the game, especially at the start, I recognized a load of voices, and I was like, that's weird. So I looked up. Vincent D'Onofrio is in the game.
Nice.
Sam Rockwell.
Oh, cool.
Rosario Dawson.
Nice.
Pedro Pascal.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal?
Exactly. They're in this game. And I remember just kind of hearing some of those voices and just kind of going, I know you.
Yeah.
I know who you are. It was just kind of weird. So the quality of the game, like, not only does it look good, it sounds good, it plays very well, but obviously they've spent quite a bit on getting people in to do really good acting, voice acting, and it works. Like, the dialogue is really good, the story so far that they're telling is very interesting, and it's really keeping me coming back to the game as well. If you were on the fence, I definitely think this is a game worth getting so far. Again, just like Crash, that could change. You could fall off a cliff. We'll see.
Good. And now, on to the movie that will won awards in Oscars, BAFTAs, and all the other arbitrary awards are there. It is the Transformers number whatever. Joe, tell us about it.
Yeah, this is I'm sorry, everybody. This is Transformers 5.
No, is it?
Yeah. There is going to be a sixth one, though, I'm sure.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, this is Transformers The Last Night. So yeah, as I wasn't on the podcast last week because I was out on a date with the fella, and we went to see this because apparently we both hate everything. And oh my God, it's just... Oh.
Official Geek Speak review, Transformers number 5.
Like, you can't see right now, but I have my head in my hands just thinking about it. I'm just like... So, I have got a soft spot for the first Transformers film, right? I think that's okay. It's kind of just a film about a boy in his first car, and it's kind of You know, it's got a lot of heart to it, and it's actually pretty decent, really. But the rest of them are abysmal, and they've got more and more abysmal as the series has gone on, and this one continues that trend. So the thing that's different with this one is that it makes even less sense than any of the others. It's completely incoherent, like utter nonsense. I don't even think Michael Bay knows what's going on anymore. It's just stupid. For some reason, Stonehenge is involved in this one, and it's got something to do with the Transformers, and there's a big Transformers planet, like Unicron, I think it is.
Wait, which one is it that they go back and there's like Transformers and dinosaurs? Is that a thing, or did I just make this up?
No, that was the last one. That was Age of Extinction.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Age of Extinction, right? Where you get the Dinobots are introduced, right?
Yep.
Including Grimlock, which is like a big T-Rex type robot dinosaur that breathes fire. He's awesome.
Who you must love.
I love Grimlock, right? And in the last film, he was in it for about 10 minutes, and I was like, waste, right? Utter waste. You have Grimlock, you put him right in the middle of your movie, he's amazing. And in this one, I was kind of thinking, okay, right, he's introduced Grimlock and the Dinobots, maybe he'll do more of them this time. Does he hell? Grimlock's in it for about 5 minutes this time, if that. He's maybe got like 8 shots. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? You've got Grimlock. Put him in your movie. But yeah, so he's barely in it, and so I was just obviously walking out of the film just grumpy as hell about that. Like, excuse me, I wanted to see the fire-breathing robot dinosaur, and you didn't put him in the film.
I want to see my dino robots, please!
Yeah, no, it's rubbish. And yeah, so there's some nonsense going on about this, like, this evil robot queen lady called Quintessa, who's like working with Megatron, or Megatron is working for her. Megatron's obviously the big baddie, and she just wants to like destroy everything. Like, oh my god, I can't even begin to explain this film. So Cybertron is the Transformers' home planet, and then you have Earth, and for some reason she wants to smash them both together.
Okay.
Just God, I can't. I just can't even begin to start.
Okay, so just quick question, right? So based on the trailers,
yeah,
right, which obviously show all the best bits anyway,
yeah,
Optimus Prime goes evil.
Wait, he wasn't evil in the first place?
No,
he doesn't really go evil. No, Megatron's the evil one. So yeah,
but he goes bad, right?
Yeah,
or he goes on their side for a bit.
Yeah, kinda, but not really.
So my question is this basically the fate of the Furious?
Yeah, but with giant robots. Yeah, so Optimus Prime, he's gone off. He's left Earth basically to search for his creator, right, for some reason that I can't even remember. And he finds Cybertron, which has been totally smashed up to bits, and is heading towards Earth. And there's this sorceress, Quintessa, this queen lady, who says she's his creator and stuff. And there's something about a staff, like a big robot staff thing that was given to King Arthur. And to Merlin, rather.
King
Sorry,
Arthur?
not King Arthur, yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing. Apparently, the Transformers were involved in Arthurian
legend. There's no wine
legend.
in the world that will make sense of this.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like... See, it was like a week ago when I saw it as well, so my memory is faded, and I'm just trying to remember it all. So it's like, yeah, so there's this staff thing that Merlin has, and Merlin, for some reason, is... like a descendant of someone who's in it now, who I can't remember.
Okay. No.
So there's a staff thing that's apparently can be used against her or something, and Earth is actually Unicron, which is the Cybertron planet's long, like,
you know what?
ancient enemy.
We honestly debated whether to put this topic in the show notes, and I said, no, let's talk about Transformers, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you regretted it now, didn't you?
I am regretting it now. I really am.
Yeah, it's just a complete load of nonsense. Basically, at one point, planets smashed together. Like, Michael Bay just sat there with a planet in each hand, like, yeah, smash them together, woo! Explosions! Anthony Hopkins is in it because apparently, even though he's an Oscar-winning actor, he still really likes money.
Who doesn't like money?
His character is actually quite unpleasant, and I didn't enjoy him in the film at all, and I usually love Anthony Hopkins in anything, but in this I was like, I've got no time for you. when it became obvious that Grimlock was barely going to be in it, I actually fell asleep in the middle for a little bit. And then I woke up and it still made no sense. So, yeah. See, I every Transformers film that comes along, I want to like it because the Transformers are awesome and explosions are cool and fight scenes and all this wicked stuff, and they have the potential to be amazing. But Michael Bay just needs to be taken off them. They need to be given to someone else who can actually direct a film without that, like, will actually make sense, and who just doesn't have complete contempt for his audience.
Also, someone who just realizes that when you pay for a ticket to see Transformers, you really don't give a crap about what happens to the humans. It's the robots you're there for.
Exactly. Like, you're Transformers. It's in the bloody name. We're there to see the robots. Who cares about the humans? They're not as exciting. They can't turn themselves into other things.
Yeah, so, like, what's his face? Mark Wahlberg is in it again. And there's other human characters.
He really needs money, I think. He's really desperate. From just a couple of last things that he's done, he just really needs money.
And he's almost completely pointless. Like, all the human characters are almost entirely pointless. Like, they could not exist in this film and it would still probably happen the same way. And it's just kind of... It's just like draining. Like, I walked out of that film like I really wanted to like it. I want them to be good because I love Transformers and it's cool and it could be awesome, but they're just not good films now. They're like not even close, and there's only so much you can ignore. Like, I want to just go in and I'll be like, yeah, okay, the story's going to suck, it's going to be really stupid, but at least there'll be robots and explosions and excitement. But it's just so incoherent that you can't, people talk about, like, we've had some crap films this year.
On the scale of Paris Caribbean to Mummy, where is Transformers lies?
God, that was recent as well, and I'd forgotten it.
Yeah.
This is the worst. Transformers is worse than both of those, by far.
God damn it.
I didn't think it could get much worse than in the last film where... Like, this is a film about kids' toys, right? Transformers are kids' toys. And in the last film, The Age of Extinction or whatever, he set someone on fire. Like, one of the main human characters is set on fire. And it's really horrible. And I remember watching that and thinking, man, this is a film about kids' toys. This is too much. He's gone too far. This is horrible, right? And I thought it couldn't get much worse than that. But it has. I mean, this film, it doesn't have a scene like that in it, but it has such contempt for the audience and for anyone that actually cares about these toys, basically, about Transformers. For anyone that's actually got any nostalgic affection for them whatsoever, this film just basically just sticks two fingers up to that. It's like, yeah, I'm going to do what I want. I'm Michael Bay. I've got all the money. I'm going to smash two planets together and I'm going to make you pay me to watch it. It's just, it's exhausting.
Because we want to be fair and balanced, I'm going to give one good point to The Last Night.
Yeah.
And that is this. Age of Extinction, the film previous to this, was 165 minutes long.
Yeah,
The Last Night is only 149 minutes long.
Oh, winner, chicken dinner.
Okay.
It's still 148 minutes too long. Like, just show me Grimlock for a minute and then that's the end. I just wanted to see Grimlock do cool stuff and he's not even in it. Like, he's in it for like, it's like a throwaway scene where they're like at a junkyard and bloody Mark Wahlberg's like, oh, put that car down, Grimlock, and Grimlock hacks up a car that he's been chewing on. That is it. That is all that Grimlock is in the film.
Oh, God.
Why? And, like, there's flying ones. There's cool flying Dinobots whose names I can't remember. And loads of other... And there's, like, a Triceratops one. Why not have them in the movie? Just let me make it. Just let me make the next Transformers one. I'll do it right. We'll just have Dinobots fighting all the time. It'd be amazing.
She'll put Transformer Godzilla in it. Just wait and see.
So, it'd just be Grimlock. The film might as well just be called Grimlock! Rah!
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to be called. Grimlock.
Rah.
Two dots. Rah!
More good news. Not only are they making a sixth one, they're also making spin-offs. So apparently Bumblebee is getting his own one. So if you petition enough, maybe you can get your own Grimlock one.
Apparently Michael Bay hates Grimlock and all the Dinobots, so it's not going to happen, is it? But it's just, I think, to be fair, this has probably been the worst reviewed one of the series, which is completely just. It is the worst one, and that's saying something after Age of Extinction, which was garbage. But this is like garbage that's been sat out on the street for 2 weeks. It's just, easily the worst film I've seen all year, by far. easily.
Oh god, I'm so happy, Joe, that we have you, so you can subject yourself to these horrific films and then tell us about it, and then we don't have to.
Yeah, just don't waste your money on this film. Just don't. Just go and watch like the classic Transformers cartoon movie instead with Orson Welles in it, because it's just much better than any of the actual Transformers like big movies. It's so much better. But, you know, good news, like, we're coming into some good movies now, so hopefully I won't have to see anything terrible for a little while.
Good movies? What is coming out? I only know the Spider-Man is coming out soon.
Yeah, we got Spider-Man next, then War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Dunkirk.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few good things.
So far, not getting my girl boner rising, but keep going.
What? Dunkirk's is Nolan, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, sorry.
It's going to be amazing.
It's okay. I don't have a boner for Nolan.
War for the Planet of the Apes. It's going to be amazing.
Nah. Doesn't have Helena Bonham Carter, don't care.
Oh god, that Tim. Oh.
Hey, it had Helena Bonham Carter. She's
yeah,
amazing.
But it was so
in anything she does. I don't care what you say. I love Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, she's great.
I fight you. You come at me, I fight you.
I actually blame her a little bit for that film, for the Tim Burton playlist, because she was married to him at the time. She could have stopped him.
No, she wasn't.
Were they not married when they made that?
No. That after that movie they hooked up.
Oh, so
He literally, that's how their relationship formed, because he called her up and he said, don't get the wrong idea, but I think he'll make a perfect ape. And she, the weirdo, the brilliant weirdo she is, she went, that man gets me. And that's how that love story began.
And now it's over.
I know. You know what? They were my power couple. His name was Tim. My husband's name is Tim. When they broke up, I was on the floor sobbing.
Oh.
My power couple has broken up.
This might make you happy. There's a film coming out in October that has Ryan Gosling in it.
I don't like Ryan
It's
Gosling.
also directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Blade Runner 2049.
Has cinematography by Roger Deakins.
Nah.
Yay!
Yay! He's from Torquay, same as me, Roger Deakins.
I need to watch Blade Runner, but after I watch Blade Runner, I think I might have a bit of a rant, but we'll get to it when
You have seen Blade Runner, right?
No. Yeah. Helena Carter is the best, I'll fight you.
I don't know what to say. She's not seen Blade Runner. Guys, Alex hasn't seen Blade Runner.
Say it once again, I didn't think they got it.
Also, the new Kingsman is out in September.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, that looks good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I have my boner now. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. I think there's some pretty good films coming up. I think, hopefully, I won't have to see anything really terrible for a while. But to be fair, like, I like a good bad movie, and so does my boyfriend, which is why we go and see these terrible movies. Because, like, The Mummy, even though it was crap, we really enjoyed it because it was crap. And we enjoyed how terrible it was.
I hate you.
Yeah. You know, we do like to watch terrible movies together because that's just kind of what we do. But Transformers just isn't worth it in any way.
Okay, guys, we've massively overrun.
Yes.
And
it's because I was ranting, I'm sorry.
No, it has nothing to do with your rant.
I didn't even want to talk about it. You made me.
I know, I regret it. I'm sorry. I should have made you talk about this. I just knew you watched it, and I thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun, you talking about Transformers? Well, spoiler alert, it was not. Well, actually, it's probably not a spoiler, because we were talking about this post you discussing it, so it's probably a hindsight alert. Anyway, this has been episode 95 of BigRedBarel Geek Speak. Yes, this has been a true episode 95, not like last week, a fake episode of 95. This has been the one. Thank you so much for joining us. We gotta say a couple of thank yous, which we will, to Richard Kirke and Stuffy Joe on the forums, and Will Drive Right, Will Drive 93, and James Sterling Wilson at James_S Wilson on Twitter. Thank you guys for commenting. If you would like to leave us a message, we would love you forever. You can do so on the forums at BigRedBarel.com. Leave the comment to the episode that is currently on, or any of the previous episodes. I try to keep my eye on them as much as I can. You can also leave us a message on Facebook, Facebook.com/BigRedBarel. You can join our Gamer Nights group and play some games with us. That link will be in the description below. You can also talk to us on Twitter at BigRedBarel using the hashtag GeekSpeak. Makes it easier for us to find your tweets. You can also speak to us directly. I'm at DustyTulip_.
I'm at Pixel Ritual.
And I'm at Diarmuid_S.
Yes, he is. Our episodes also come up on the YouTube, so if you're a lovely YouTube weirdo who likes to listen to your podcasts on YouTube, we don't judge, we actually support, we appreciate you listening to us on YouTube, and I'm not making fun of it, I'm actually being serious. I'm not sure if it came across clear enough, but I just want to reiterate this. Yes, we do love you for listening to us on YouTube. You can do that because all our episodes come on the YouTube as well. and we will also shout out you for commenting on YouTube. We will also absolutely love you forever from the distance or close up, whichever you prefer. Leave your preference in the iTunes reviews, which did I mention love enough? Love is in the air. Let's do all the love. After all the Transformers and the Overwatch, hate, love. Please leave us a nice review. Would appreciate it very, very much. Whatever it is, just be up straight with us. Whether you loved or hate the episode, that's a helpful feedback that will help us to hopefully improve it in the future. Also, per usual reminder that Tuesday is in fact a Tuesday. And on Tuesday we have Tabletop Tuesday. And that is our board gaming night where every week we bring a feature game. And if you play that feature game in the night, you have a chance to win it by 10:30 in the evening. And this week, so the coming week after the 30th, I can't count, so whatever amount of June is going to be Rash and Bash board game, which is a kind of like a board game take on karting, a little bit like Mario Kart. It fits into our theme for the video game board games for a couple of weeks, which is a completely special prize draw that you can also participate in by coming tonight and playing a board game, which you absolutely totally should. And you should come and say hello to Tim and me, because we're also there. That thing, I've done all the shout-outs I had to do. So, I have been Butts.
I've been really, really sad about not getting enough Grimlock in my life.
That's a very long name, Joe.
I've been Diarmuid. Definitely Diarmuid.
And we bid you goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Butts.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.